This video is brought to you by EA Game Changers. Hi again everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a very special speed build. Thank you so much for joining me here today, and thank you so very much to the EA Game Changers program for allowing me early access to The Sims 4 Cottage Living. I don't think I've been this excited about a pack release for a really long time. That's how I'm gonna open up this speed build, and the general consensus that I can sort of gauge from the community is pretty much the same. I think it's just been so nice to see the community so hyped and so pumped for a pack that we've been wanting for such a long time, and let me just tell you, this pack delivers. It really does. So of course I had to make a cottage because, you know, I'm a builder, let's be honest, and it's cottage living. So we're currently working on the outside and we are in the new world, which I think is absolutely stunning. The only critique that I do have of this world, and this is a very minor thing, and it's simply because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, there's a very odd bluey green tint to the lighting, in my opinion, and this is the morning light, early afternoon lighting. Now, in the evening at sunset, the green tint disappears. So I'm sure this was intentional, and this is definitely just a personal preference thing, but I'm not keen on this weird green hazy colour. I don't know if you guys can even see that, but it was bothering me while I was doing the speed build, and I was trying to work out, because I've built this on a few different lots, or I've tried it on a few different lots, and if you're anything like me, the first thing you do as a builder is work out which lots offer the best lighting. That's what I do anyway. And so this one was probably one of the better ones for the lighting and the scenery, etc. But the lighting is pretty much the same on all the lots. I'm not going to harp on about it, I'm really not. But that's probably my only criticism of the pack so far. Anyway, onto the build and buy. So everything that you are seeing here comes with Cottage Living. The chimneys, the windows, the trees, the flower boxes, absolutely everything, and the brick on the walls, everything. And I really don't have any complaints whatsoever. The items are stunning, they're really well thought out, they work together beautifully with items from this pack, and also with base game items from Cats and Dogs. Where did that come from? Items from the Cats and Dogs pack, which I was assuming would be the case, I'll be honest, because I feel like a lot of the items from the Cats and Dogs expansion pack are very cottage-esque, so I knew that was going to be the case. And there's just so many adorable details with this pack, and I was really overwhelmed last night actually, because I got early access to the pack yesterday evening, and I actually started building a cottage, and I wasn't happy with it, so I went to bed, woke up this morning, and I was like, actually, do you know what, I'm just gonna restart the whole thing. So I've actually been up since about 7:30 this morning. It's currently nearly 4 p.m. I've only just finished this cottage, and I haven't really left my office chair today other than to go and get some food, make sure the dogs are okay, etc. So this build took me a really long time. It was worth it in my opinion, with all the details, and I think also because this was my first look at all the... No, it wasn't, because I had a look at them last night. I was just about to say, this is my first look at all the items, so no wonder it took me so long. No, not at all. This is my second look at the items, but this is a completely different cottage to the one that I built yesterday, and so I'm using a lot more of a range of landscaping items and things like that. And I sort of, let's call yesterday's build a tester build. I will not be uploading the speed build, I will not be uploading that house to the gallery. This one will be available when the pack is released worldwide, so I believe that's tomorrow, so I'll be uploading this to the gallery tomorrow. But the other one, no, I'm just writing it off. I'm writing it off completely. Let's call it a learning curve. And I'll be honest, I kind of struggled with the exterior of this build in terms of window placement. I think because I'm so used to having different shapes, different bump outs, different roofs, sort of, I could do a build with at least 15 different roofs on it. This has 3, and I think I was trying to comprehend how I could make a shape so simple look so interesting. So I was really struggling with that. So I think that's why I overcompensated with all the clutter outside. Plus I got really giddy in the debug menu, because the debug menu with this pack it's outstanding. It's absolutely gorgeous. I could build a house with just the debug items from this pack. I do think that they could maybe have added some of the items from the debug menu into the regular catalogue menu, but I know there's 2 different teams that work on both catalogues, so I understand why they do it. I just think it would be nice to have the items in the debug menu, some of them accessible in the regular menu too. Again, very minor thing, very, very minor. So you can see here, the outside has pretty much come together already. Now, I'll be completely honest, and you've probably noticed from the video at the start anyway, I do make some minor changes to the outside, and that's simply because I was looking at it for so long, like hours on end. The longer I look at something that I've built or that I've painted, I've drawn, anything that I've done, if I look at it for long enough, I start to despise it. I start to pick out all the faults, like, well, that doesn't match that, and that looks silly there, and this, that, and the other. So very, very, very minor changes, but I think all we do is we add some details to the upper floor windows, and we change the bump outs in the roof too. That's pretty much all we do, but in my opinion it just took it to that next level. So anyway, and here I am just trying to experiment with other items from other packs just to see how I could incorporate all the new items with items that we currently have, and they work together really, really well. They really do. The items in this pack are very, very, very well thought out, so I'm extremely happy. So when you guys get access to the pack, you'll have to let me know what you think. But I'll be honest, the outside of the house took me, I think it was an hour and 20 minutes, an hour and 25 minutes. So as you can see, we're playing around with the new pond tool. The new pond tool came as a base game update yesterday, and obviously you can use it. It's perfect in a setting like this, and I just thought I've got to play around with it. I've got to do something, and then you will see what we put in here in just a moment. Yes, it's very awesome. But the pond tool, yes, it was actually much easier to use than I'd realised, because terrain manipulation scares me. I'm going to be completely honest. I have spoken about this before on the channel. I'm a flat builder. I don't build things on hills. I don't do any terrain manipulation of any kind. So I was a little bit nervous because it's not usually my thing, but I was pleasantly surprised. And I'm telling you now, if I can do it, then anybody can. Trust me. So in this little area here, we end up putting in some chickens because I didn't realise how big this house was and how small the lot was, and I don't mean that in a bad way. All I mean is that I wanted to have a llama and a cow as well, but you can see me here, the barn itself is actually really quite large. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to make another I'm going to be making houses for the next couple of weeks with this new pack, just so that I can sort of experiment with different things and keep the content fresh for you guys. But I will have to create a much bigger house on a much bigger lot if I want to have cows and llamas. But the chickens, I've had a little bit of a play around with them. I'm sure you saw at the start of the video. They're adorable. They're so full of character, and I really, really like them. The fact that you can dress them up in clothes, absolutely. I mean, it's absolutely adorable. This pack definitely feels quite old school Sims with the humour and everything else, and I'm absolutely here for that. I've been playing The Sims for 20 years and I am all for the dark, weird humour, so there's very much appreciated on my part. But you'll just see me here just having a look and seeing what clutter items we can put in. Yes, that is a picnic basket. Picnic basket. I hope that doesn't actually flag as a swear word. Picnic basket. Oh wow. Picnic basket, it is fully usable by your Sims, so your Sims can have picnics now, which I think is there's so much gameplay in this pack that I want to explore. It's absolutely unreal. So yes, your Sims can have picnics now. Why I put that in there, I've no idea. I just thought it looked really cute. And then I found these fairy lights in the debug manual. You'll see me doing this a lot in this build. You'll just see me finding random items and being like, okay, where can I put that? Because that's absolutely cute. I need to use that somewhere. So, sorry, I'm still laughing at Pissnick. I really hope that doesn't get flagged as a swear word, because I try very hard to keep things PG. Is it PG-13 where you don't swear? And I swear a lot in real life, so it takes a lot for me to not swear, but I'm hoping that won't flag as anything. Anyway, I didn't mean it in that way. I do apologise. This voiceover is going really, really well, isn't it? So you'll see me here just working on the landscaping a little bit more, and you know me, there's never enough landscaping in a build. There's just never enough landscaping, and this was absolutely no exception. I think the beauty with building a cottage is that you can go nuts with the landscaping. What is happening to me today with the landscaping? So you can just, I don't know. I feel like cottages generally are quite overgrown, and they tend to be, I mean, you get different kinds of cottages. So you can have cottages in the middle of a field, you can have farmhouse cottages, you can have cottages that are on like a street, and that's what I want to do next. I think like a small sort of like, not townhouse cottage necessarily, but like a small, maybe townhouse cottage, I don't know. I'm gonna have a look at that maybe this evening if I've got any energy left. I'm gonna be honest. After this one, I'm kind of tired, but tired in a good way, and I just think maybe I need a night's rest and I can get right back to it tomorrow and maybe make some new content for you guys. So if there's a specific type of cottage that you would like to see me build, then please let me know in the comments down below, and I will try my very best to adhere to your requests. So I made a decision here with the chimneys, and I decided to enclose them in walls. Why, you ask? It's because that left-hand side of the house was looking very sad, I think is the word to use. It was looking really flat, really sad. So I decided to encase the chimneys in the walls, which I don't know whether it looks better than it did before, but it just adds a little bit more dimension, a little bit more shape to the build. So I just left it. There's still time for me to make some tweaks, so I'm just having a look here now, and all I'm doing is picking out the faults with this so far. But the things that I'm picking out change anyway, so I'm pretty happy with it. And then I tried to use that climbing ivy. I'm not entirely sure the scientific name for it, but I tried to use that a couple of times on this build, and for some reason it just wasn't coming together for me with this particular house. And that's not to say that it won't look good in another build, it's just that it didn't look right on this one, that's all. And that's okay. I really wanted to use it because it's so pretty, but it was not meant to be. So now moving on to the inside. This is the kitchen. Yes, it's huge, but bear with me. Trust the process. Trust me and trust the process, because I was right here. I was like, this kitchen's far too big. I cannot make this look good. Oh, yes, I can. Watch me. So I figured with this house, which by the way is 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. So it's a very decent size. All the rooms are a very good size. There's also a crafts room downstairs, which I don't normally put in my builds, but something came over me today when I was building this. I developed this really, I don't know what happened, and I'm not sorry, and I'm really glad it happened, because cottage builds are not normally my thing, but I ended up putting in like I said, a crafts room. But this house here, oh my gosh, this kitchen, wow, okay, I wouldn't be listening to this voiceover if I were me either. Anyway, hey, if I'm making you laugh though, I suppose that's a good thing, isn't it? So I ended up putting in like a double stove sort of situation going on here, and then I was still nervous at this point because there's so much empty counter space, and I'm like, there is no way that I'm going to be able to make this look good. But I found so many clutter items that came with this new pack that I was like, oh, okay, maybe I can actually do this. So again, I think here I was starting to come around on the idea of the kitchen, and as I was saying before I went on a complete ramble, I think the whole idea of this house is maybe the family that lives here have knocked some walls down and done some renovating, but kept the furnishings quite traditional. So all the rooms are pretty spacious, which is quite unusual for, I would say, a traditional cottage, because most cottages are quite quaint and quite cozy. As well, again, it just depends what kind of cottage we're talking about, but with this one it's very spacious, and I wanted to make sure I put a fireplace in here as well, because I think most cottages have fireplaces in the kitchen, if I'm not mistaken. And I was like, I need to put a fireplace in every room. So there's actually a fireplace in the kitchen, the living room, the dining room, and the master bedroom upstairs. I went just crazy with the fireplaces, but I couldn't help it. Like, they're absolutely beautiful. I was like, I need to use these in this build at some point. So you can see me here just adding a bunch of clutter, and already the kitchen has completely transformed, and I ended up really liking this kitchen. And again, it's all because of the new items from the pack. We got these new counters as well, which I think are completely different to the ones that we got in the country kitchen kit. And I think with that kit they were maybe gauging people's reaction off of it, maybe. But I think what is nice is that people who wouldn't necessarily want to buy the kits but buy expansion packs, like, those people are going to be able to have traditional country cabinets now for kitchens, which I think is a really nice idea. And they come in some really nice swatches, but I ended up going for this like dark green teal colour, just because I thought it was a little bit different. And I'm over the moon. I'm absolutely over the moon with the interior of this house, I'm going to be completely honest. And I think it was definitely worth the 5 or 6 hours that I've spent at my computer today. And that doesn't involve editing either. So I spent a little while editing the beginning of the video, which you wouldn't even think, because it's not even that special. But I'm not a video editor, so anything that I do just takes me a little bit longer. Anyway, rant over again. So now we're moving on to this is classed as the dining room. You'll see in a few minutes I end up putting a wall just behind the table here and another archway, and just end up putting it. It's like a landing that goes off into all the other different rooms, because I just really didn't know what else to do with that space, I'll be completely honest. And these oh my gosh, okay. These curtains, I've got to get the voiceover done. Like, I'm going to just take it or leave it. It's just one of those situations. These curtains here are actually from the Cats and Dogs expansion pack, which I think work beautifully in this room. And I wanted to keep everything really traditional and really warm and inviting and cozy. And I'm really happy with this. Put another fireplace in here, because why the heck not? So this is actually the other version of the fireplace that came with the pack. So we have 2 new fireplaces. This is one of them, and the other one is in the kitchen. So this one is slightly more clean looking. I wouldn't go as far to say it's modern, but it's definitely more clean looking than the other one. And the new wallpapers that came with this pack, look at them. They have little bunnies on and mushrooms and leaves. Oh my gosh, it's so cute that I don't think I can handle it. Like, this is adorable. Come on, who thought of these items? Because you need a raise or a promotion. I don't know which, but anyway. So using my old faithful hallway table from the Cats and Dogs pack, because I mean, what other time would I ever get to use it, right? Apart from all the time. And now we're moving on to the living room, and I absolutely love this wallpaper. I think this is absolutely gorgeous. And putting in another fireplace in here. It's the same one from the dining room, but we end up just leaving it at its original size, because in the kitchen and the dining room we end up sizing it down. It's very large, but again, that is quite normal for a cottage to have a huge fireplace, so I'm not complaining whatsoever. And this room is actually probably one of the smaller ones, so it's quite long and quite narrow. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to clutter everything up in here, really, to sort of give an element that the house is extremely cozy, even though it's quite spacious. Because, as I said, cottages are notorious for being cozy and homey and just warm and inviting. So hopefully we achieve that with this. And you'll just see me every now and again going into live mode and just changing the lighting to the neutral lighting, because by default I think the lighting is down as warm and it's far too yellowy for me, so I end up changing it to the neutral lighting just so I can just keep going on with the build. Because it throws me off. It puts like a weird yellow tint on all the items and it completely throws me off. And so that is a new painting from the Country Living pack, just going, well, that's just been on the wall there. And again, using the curtains from the Cats and Dogs expansion pack, and these new blinds from Cottage Living as well, because I think they work really, really nicely. And then we end up using the hallway table again, because why not, right? Just why not, you know, whatever. You'll see me going through a lot of the catalogue and sort of filtering it by Cats and Dogs and Cottage Living, just because, again, they work superbly together. And I haven't used these sunflowers from the base game for, a very long time. I'd go as far to say years, but I might be wrong with that. So you've got to have sunflowers in a cottage, right? I've just realised I didn't actually add any sunflowers to the exterior of the build. I might do that before I upload it to the gallery. Anyway, what I have noticed, just to go completely off topic, is whilst I was building this house, you know where the doors and or the archways and the windows, there's that glitch. I don't know whether it's because I've got move objects on enabled, but the wall comes through and you have to click it for it to like redo itself. But what I have noticed is that it's been happening a lot recently, and I don't know whether that's due to the new patch, but I can't imagine what would be causing that. Maybe it's just me. Anyway, if anyone else is having the same issue, just let me know, because I found it quite irritating actually while I was doing the build. But anyway, it's okay. And again, this clock from the base game, I've never, I don't think, used that. But something just came over me today. I was just living up in the cottage vibes. I was like, yes, what can we put? What can I find that's cottagey? And I think the thing is, a lot of the base game items are quite old looking. And so they do go really well in a build like this. And so you'll just see me here as well, finding the odd item to pop in the crafts room. I don't know who in the family would be into the crafts. It could be mum, it could be dad, it could be grandma, it could be one of the children. I really don't know. I didn't really have anyone in particular in mind when it came to this. But I ended up putting that flower. I don't know what, that flower table from the Eco Lifestyle pack. I can't actually remember what your Sims can do on it. I'll be completely honest, but I put that in the garden. And then I end up putting some items from the Nifty Knitting pack in this room as well, because I know that your Sims can... What do they do in this new pack? They sew. Do they sew from memory or something? And they can like, I don't know. Anyway, so I just thought, oh, it might be nice to have a crafts room in here. So that's what we ended up doing here. And I just thought it was really nice. Like, if you guys move in here, then you can turn this into whatever room you like. It could be another bedroom, it could be an office. But I just thought this was a nice idea if you've got any Sims in mind that are very crafty and they like their arts and crafts. So I just thought it was a nice little room. And something a bit different as well, because I don't normally put rooms like this in my builds. So I like trying new things sometimes. Now we're moving on to the upstairs. So each child's room fits 2 children, or you could do toddlers or teenagers, whatever you want to do. I'd actually aimed them at children or teenagers, but you can, as I said, do whatever you want with these. And I was trying to use the wallpaper as a base for the colour palette. Now we do end up changing the blue carpet from blue to pink, so don't panic. Oh, is it pink, or do we end up going green in the end? I think we end up going dark green in the end, which I think you're probably thinking, ooh, really? But it actually works quite well, or at least I think so anyway. And these bunk beds from the Dream Home Decorator pack, I had no idea that these would look so good in a cottage build. But they were so cute. I was just like, I have to use them. I have to, because they match the mushrooms on the wall. Or they're very close to matching the mushrooms on the wall. I'm just having a look here. And I'm sort of putting in like rundown furniture as well, just to fit with the whole aesthetic of the fact that this family, not that they don't have any money, or that they're you know, they don't care about the kids. It's more that maybe they just like reusing items, and maybe it's been repainted a few times. Maybe the children in here have had it since they were babies and they don't want to get rid of it, but I don't know. So anyway, and also I came across these mushroom stools which Sims can sit on, and I really wanted to incorporate them into this bedroom, but I don't know why I didn't change the swatch and put a pink one in. I might do that before I upload it to the gallery, because I'm looking back now and I'm like, I really should have put a pink one in here, shouldn't I? Yeah. So they're really cute. So they're like little mushroom stools that your Sims can sit on, and oh, it's adorable. It's absolutely adorable. So we end up putting a computer and a desk in here as well, so that the children's Sims have something to do, which is always a bonus. And then again, this plant from the Dream Home Decorator pack, never knew that it would work in a build like this, but it really does. Although I suppose it's quite, I don't know, it kind of gives off a farmhouse vibe, I feel, like shabby chic sort of vibe. Yes, anyway. Then we end up just adding a bunch of clutter to the walls, because if you are returning to the channel, then you know that this is just my style of building, especially children's rooms. In general, yes, but children's rooms, I'm absolutely terrible. And this is the master bedroom. The master bedroom does not have an ensuite, as you've probably noticed, but I don't think that's too much of a big deal. I think with traditional cottages like this, I'm not entirely convinced that they would by default come with an ensuite. I might be wrong, please don't hold me to that. But I thought I'll just put a bathroom on either end of the top floor, and then your Sims can just use them as and how they need to. So one of the bathrooms has a bath and the other one has a shower, which I think works rather well. And this plant in the wicker basket is quite quickly becoming my favourite plant in the game. It has replaced the dine out plant for now. It's not as full, but it's very pretty. I like it very, very much. I've been wanting another plant like that for quite some time, and I like it because it looks completely different from that one as well. So I think it's really pretty. And I can't believe I haven't talked about these yet, because I've put them in literally every room. But these little fairy light holders on the wall, oh, I can't cope with how amazing and cute they are. I genuinely can't cope. I don't think I will ever build a house without using them ever again. They are amazing. Yes, absolutely gorgeous. And this clock as well, I didn't realise how much I'd use this. I've used that in quite a few of the rooms too. This one that's just going on the wall there. It's really cute. I like it so much. And this base game bookshelf as well came in quite handy in a few rooms where I was like, don't really know what to put there, so I'll just put that base game bookshelf. I think I did it in the, was it in the living room that I did that? Yeah, I feel like it was. And this plant, I can never remember what pack that plant's from, but I throw that into a couple of rooms as well. And then we move on to the other twin room, which is more of like a blue and green and dark wood sort of theme, but using the same wallpaper but just in a different swatch, I believe. Yes, so with the green on the bottom, which I thought was really sweet. It just gives like this really fresh sort of vibe. And I did not realise that I would be using these base game curtains for anything, but they actually work really well with these windows. But I'm going to leave you guys here because I've been talking for half an hour and I honestly didn't think I was going to be able to do this. I didn't do it very well. It was a bit shaky at times, but I hope you guys found it quite enjoyable. But you can grab this house from the gallery tomorrow after the worldwide release of The Sims 4 Cottage Living. I will make the tray files available in the description down below as well, and you'll be able to grab them from my page on Tumblr. All my socials will be linked down below as well. Screenshots are at the end of the build as always if you'd like to see what the house looks like in game. But thank you so very much again to the EA Game Changers program for allowing me early access to this amazing new expansion pack. I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on this one, and please do let me know what you think of the build in the comments down below. But you guys take care, and I will see you next time I post a video. Bye!